Hello, 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 hello. This is Chef Matissa, your taste bud exciter, coming to you live today. All right, maybe you don't want me to sing. I'm going to sing just a little bit just because I want to. Anyway, for those of you who are new to me, if you just stumbled across my page, I welcome to stumble. This is Chef Matissa, your taste bud exciter. I teach families how to have fun in the kitchen and make some memories. So today I am cooking live, and guess what? So I posted a little bit earlier and I said, hey, I have an announcement to make. Make sure that you come on in my live at 6 o'clock. So let's make sure that we are turning on your notifications. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure that you click that little airplane at the bottom and share with 3 to 5 people who are interested in fun, healthy cooking tips and learning how to make memories in the kitchen, right? Okay, so today. So today, Instagram was trying to not let me be great. I tried to go live a little earlier and it was cutting out on me and doing all these weird stuff. Then when I got back home, I could not find my chef coat. So I'm like, okay, another thing holding me up. So I'm like, maybe I need to push the time back. Then my computer started acting up. And so I was like, oh my God, I needed this because I was trying to create a few things that I needed to add to some different pages and stuff. And I'm like, technology is really working against me today. But nevertheless, I am here, darling, in the flesh, because I want to rock out and have some fun with you today. So if you drop your questions down below, I will make sure that I catch those. So today we are about to have some fun. All right, so if you follow me, you saw this tag, this message that said we're cooking live at 6. So now you probably want to know what we're cooking today, right? So this is the recipe for the items that we'll be making. All right, let's see. Hold on here. I am going to move you guys over to my other camera as I readjust it. 1 second. All right, or maybe not. We're not going to worry about technology today. Okay, so today, this is the recipe. What we're making is, I'm going to do a quick pineapple salsa. Yes, who doesn't love that? And I'm going to put it over vegan peas and quinoa. So this is a great vegan dish. It's a great vegetarian dish. But guess what? I'm putting a twist on it. So not only is this a vegan dish, right? This can also have a twist of some added protein. So I'm going to add some salmon to it today. So I'm just going to cook it off real quick. I'm going to sear it on both sides and add just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm going to slide it in the oven at 350 degrees and let it cook for just 10 or 15 minutes. So while that's cooking off, what we'll do is we'll come over and we'll cut up all the items that we need to put in today's dish. And then we'll let that thing rock, right? So I'm going to let you follow me over. We're getting ready to go ahead and cook and sear my salmon off. And there we go. All right, so as we come over to do that, I got my pan real nice and hot. And I was looking for my olive oil that I have over here. Remember the trick that I taught you about putting it in a squirt bottle? That way you can contain how much that you put in it, right? So I live by that. I love that. It works for me. All right, so I'm getting ready to flip you guys over so I can show you what's going on, right? All right, so let's see if it will allow me to be great and flip, right? Because technology's being funny today. All right, let's see. So I'm going to flip you guys, and now you see my pan, right? So here, I'm getting the pan nice and hot. Always have your pan nice and hot before you sear any of your meat, whether it's your salmon, whether it's chicken, anything that you're going to sear. Make sure your pan is nice and hot before you put any oil in it. Today, we're going to be cooking off some salmon pieces. And my salmon, I'm only doing that because there's some people, you may have, okay, so let's keep it all the way funky, right? In your family, you know that sometimes your kids don't want to try things if it has veggies attached to it, right? So you may want to give them a variety of some type of meat they can try. So for today, I'm going to do salmon. So I'm going to teach you how to take this vegan dish and then turn it into something that the whole family will love, right? So in essence, this is going to be added protein, but my quinoa, which is your perfect protein, is enough if I'm going to be, using it as just a vegan dish. I'm also going to be putting black-eyed peas in it, another good source of protein. So it has plenty of fiber, it has plenty of protein, it is the absolute best dish that you can make for your family. And it's something that's a little out of the box and out of the norm. So for these, I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil. Let me switch hands because I'm a right-handy, not a lefty. So I'm just going to put just a little bit of oil over it so it doesn't burn. And then you can just add your salt and pepper or whatever spice that you choose to use. Let me bring you back to my pan because I'm having to reach. Now we're back. Da-da-da. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper on it because the fish itself is just going to go over top of a lot of other different flavors and I don't want to kill it, right? So I'm just going to keep it nice and simple. I'm going to tray it up on parchment paper and slide it in the oven, right? Okay, so let's move this over here. All right, so now I'm just going to layer this. And always remember, after you handle anything that has shellfish or fish or chicken or any type of meat, you always want to make sure that you wash your hands afterwards. So I'm going to put you guys down for just a moment. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'll let you walk with me. Walk with me. All right, let's see if I can do two things at once here. All right, let's see here. I need to mount you guys really quick. Uno momento. All right, so let me slide this in the oven and then I will put you guys where you can see what is happening. All right, so all I've done is place that in the oven on 350. All right, so let's see here. So all I've done is taken that and I put it in the oven on 350 and I'm gonna let that cook. All right. Once that, I missed the most important step. We were going to sear it, weren't we? I'm moving too fast. I tell you, technology is taking me a little bit too fast today. All right. Back it up, back it up. All right. So now, before you put it in the oven, I want you guys to sear it off, okay? So I'm going to put just a little bit of oil right here in the bottom of the pan. I've already got it nice and hot because that's why we were talking about the hot pan, correct? All right, so presentation side always goes down first. So when I talk about presentation, I'm pretty much talking about this side. If you flip it over for your salmon, this is going to be the back side of your salmon, right? This is not going to be the presentation side. The presentation side is what you're going to eat once you plate it over your dish or by itself, right? You're not going to eat this side of it first. So I always say presentation side down first, which is going to be the top half. So I'm going to take that and put it in the bottom of the pan. I'm also going to do that with my other pieces as well. And I only have 3 pieces that I'm searing off today. So notice that this should be the back side of what you're searing off, okay? I'm only going to sear it for just a couple of seconds each side because it's going to cook in the oven, right? Mainly what I want it to do is just get a nice brown color on it. Okay, so I'm just going to take and I'm going to flip this over because I'm just trying to get it to have a nice sear, which is kind of hard to do while holding this phone, right? So here's a tip for you. Don't hold your phone while you're trying to do this. Ha ha ha. Anywho. I'm just flipping this over. Give it a nice sear. And this way I'll only have to cook it for just a few moments, right? In the oven. Alright. So make sure that you drop down below any questions that you may have. And after you get that nice sear and you do it for just a couple of minutes, you can go ahead and turn it off. And then I'm going to go ahead and put it over here. Oops. Last piece. And then I want to make sure I turn that off. So now I have my 3 pieces of salmon over here that I have prepared and ready to go into the oven. So now I'm just going to slide that in the oven. My phone is trying to overheat. See, I told you technology is trying to give me a hard time today, but we don't care. All right, so I'm going to sit that in there for just a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to bring you guys over here now and mount you really quick. Let's see if we can get you in here without dropping my phone. That would be excellent. All right, perfect. So today, as I said, we're going to make a nice vegan dish with a twist of adding some meat to it if you're a pescatarian, or if you're just a meat lover and you like eating meat, then we're going to do that as well. So if you see the ingredients list there, those are all the items that I'm getting ready to fabricate and cut, okay? So I'm washing my hands again, of course, for 20 seconds. Under warm water, because that's what you have to do to kill all the germs, regardless of whether you're cooking something for yourself or cooking something for someone in your family. Always have to make sure that you stay clean. All right, so let me show you guys what we have. So to save time today, I cut my pineapples up. What I did was, and let me make this large again so that you can see me. Okay, so what I did was I had 2 pineapples that I purchased, and I took the pineapples and I cut them up so that way it will already be done. So the second pineapple, I juiced it, right? So I just took the juice from that pineapple so that I would have it to go inside of my dish. So if you guys want this recipe as a bonus afterwards, after I tell you guys what the big announcement is, let me know. So I also got me some portobello mushrooms and sliced them because I just love mushrooms and onions in anything, right? So that's what I'm doing today. I have my mushrooms. Then as you see, we have the tricolor peppers. I love peppers. You can't go wrong with that. Black-eyed peas. Now, in the recipe that I give you, it's going to have in there that you can use dried black-eyed peas if you have time to make those and just have them soak. And then we'll use that inside. Another good alternative, if you don't want to use the fresh dried black-eyed peas, is you can go in the frozen section and you can get black-eyed peas and then just cook them for probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Take them off and let them cool off and sit to the side so they can go inside of your dish, right? Okay, now let's go over some of the other ingredients that are going to be in there. I'm going to juice some limes because I need that for my pineapple salsa. I have garlic that I'm going to take the cloves and cut in half. I have my red onion, and then I have my nice sweet onion, right? Okay, so we're going to start first. Oh, and then I have some cilantro and some jalapeno pepper, right? So here's my jalapeno pepper. Yes. All right, so that's going to put a little bit of heat to it. And then I also have my cilantro, which is fresh. You know, fresh is always best. Yes, yes. Who loves cilantro? Woo, woo. All right. So I'm keeping an eye on my salmon. It's only been in there 2 minutes, and I have my light on so that I can see it. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut up my peppers really quick. I'm not going to make shreds like I normally do. I'm going to cut them into some nice blocks real quick. That will allow me to work with them better in the dish, okay? So everything starts, remember, if you look back at some of my other videos, I showed you how to cut the bottom off and then cut the top. And once you do that, you'll expose the pepper. Never try to cut on the shiny side. That's a good way for your knife to slide off. But that's a whole nother lesson, right? Okay, so I'm going to take and I'm going to make me 3 nice slits in each one. I'm going to go through and I'm going to make me a medium dice, pushing forward. Always make sure you're cutting with a nice sharp knife because I want my chunks to be large. So I have them like that. As I cut, I'm going to move them over to a separate dish so that they're ready to go. love. I'm so excited, guys. So as I go through this cooking demonstration, I am hoping that I'm not frozen. But as I go through this cooking demonstration, I'm going to be telling you guys what we're going to be doing. Is so fun. All right, so if you're coming in late, I am Chef Matissa, your taste bud exciter, and I teach families how to have fun in the kitchen through meal planning and cooking classes. Yeah, though. All right, so I love peppers. I love peppers. Remember, when you cut, always keep your fingers back. I wouldn't be surprised if I am frozen because technology doesn't want me to be great today, and that's okay too. All right. I'm gonna sing a little bit. Remember I told you guys when I came on last week about the singing, right? And then wrong with a little bit of trying to sing. So I cut all the interior of it out because I don't need that. All right, moving along. Cutting up my peppers. All right, so make sure if you have any questions, you drop them down below. But as I said, we are making a vegan peas and quinoa, and our peas for today is going to be black eyed peas, right? So we're doing that, and I'm going to put it over a bed of pineapple salsa. So I'm getting all of my ingredients cut up. If you look in the top right hand corner, which I would drop it again. Let's see, maybe I can. These are the ingredients that we're using today, right? These are the ingredients. But as always, if you connect with me and you're interested in the recipe afterwards, you can always get it. But I have something special for you guys toward the end. And I can't wait to share it with you. Remember, your yellow peppers and your red peppers are going to have a sweeter flavor and a little more nutrients in it. And you know why? Because they have to stay on a little bit longer, because all peppers are green. These started out green, right? But they're not green anymore because they took them a longer time to harvest them so they could change colors. That's why you have the red, the yellow, the orange. They didn't inject anything in it, just took it a little bit longer to go. Hey, Chef Trey, how you doing? All right, so I am just cutting this up. We are making a nice vegan dish today, and I put a twist on it for those who might want to add a little meat to it. And I have some salmon that I seared in the very beginning, and now I have it roasting in the oven for about 10-12 minutes. All right, so I am making some nice large dice because that's what I want for my dish today. Instead of making slices, we're going to use nice large dice. Awesome sauce, baby. So if you guys are coming in, let me know where you are from and what you had to cook today. And always remember, don't be ashamed if you went to take out or you went to somebody's house, as long as you ate today. Because there are some people who food is not in abundant supply. And you pray for them every day. But then you have to think about what you're eating and what you're going to feed your family, and are we going to eat healthy, and are we going to save money, and all those good things like that, right? So while you're sequestered at home with your kids, because if you're like most states, I think each state has its own rules on how we're going to send the kids back. And you made gumbo? Oh my God, we need some smell-o-vision. I love gumbo. We have to decide state by state how they're sending the kids back to school, right? So I know we had an option whether we wanted to do 100% online or whether we want to send them back. And me personally, I just don't trust sending my child back under these conditions. So I am going to be a chef and I'm going to be a homeschooler. Yay! I'm going to add that to my resume. I'm so excited and nervous all at the same time because what if something comes up and I don't know what it is, right? So then I got to look it up. All right, so then I have my sweet pepper and my red pepper. So then I thought about that thing. I'm like, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been in school, but nothing's new under the sun, right? It might just be a different way that they're doing it. Hey, how you doing? Oh, I got my thing on top of it. I can't see. Hey, Kurt, how you doing? I can't see you guys' comments. Let me slide my phone. Hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah, awesome sauce. Thanks. And hey, Natasha, thank you for joining. Thank you guys for the hearts. All right, so I'm going to be making my announcement here shortly. But if you are just hopping in, we're making this nice vegan dish and getting that going. And I was just saying how technology would not let me be great today, right? But it's okay because I'm up here. I had problems with my computer earlier. Then when I came back, I couldn't find something I was looking for. And I was like, this is just, maybe I need to push my time back. And then I said, nope. Because I'm really good for trying to be a perfectionist on stuff. And I got to cut that mess out. So I said, I'm going live even if I don't have certain things, because I'm good for that and it'll hold me up. And that's why I intentionally posted that I was going live at 6 o'clock today, because it held me to making sure that I stuck to what I said I was going to do on my time. I was going to cook live today anyway, but instead of just popping on saying, hey, I'm here, I thought I'd announce it and let you guys know that I was going live at that certain time, because it pressures me to make sure that I have my stuff in order. Because if I don't watch it, I'll try to make everything perfect, and nothing's perfect, but it'll hold me up. Did anybody in the church say amen? Are you, let's see, making black eyed peas salad? No, ma'am, I am not. We are putting black eyed peas with quinoa, but I am making a pineapple salsa real quick. So I am doing that, but that is good too. But no, I am not doing that today. I am not. I literally just wrote out, all right, you better do that thing, Chef. You better do that thing. So y'all, if you are up here, you're not following Chef Trey J, she has an amazing program coming up for a 3-in-1, teaching families how to diversify their foods for all palates based on whatever it is you guys eat. Turning that meal into a few things. Which I guess is kind of what we're doing today. I'm showing you something a little different because this is a vegan dish. But, however, you can turn it into a pescatarian dish, a vegetarian dish, and a meat levels. Just depending on what you want. But today I wanted some salmon, but I also wanted this vegan dish too. So yes. All right, so I'm going to take and move these over to the side. Thank you guys for running them hearts up for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For a minute there, I thought I was stalled, and I was like, stop it and start over. Then I'm like, we ain't playing them kind of games today. We moving forward. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut my sweet onion. Remember, I like to go ahead and cut everything up. That way, when you get ready to cook, everything is assembled and ready in order. Going to try to sing a little bit. Maybe not. So basically, for this recipe, everything that I'm doing, we're only going to use probably about 1/4 of a cup, maybe 1/2 of a cup. And you know, 1/4 of a cup is nothing more than 1/2 of a half, right? So when you know your measurements, it's easy to follow the recipes that you get. You just got to know your measurements. That way you can learn to eyeball it, right? So these are going to be my sweet onions. Everything I'm cutting today is going to be in a dice format because I don't need them in strips. Always keep those fingers back so you don't chop them suckers off, because that's your main tool in the kitchen. That's your main tool in the kitchen. So what you guys making today? Who cooked besides Chef Trey? Hello, thank you for joining, Miss JB. Thank you for joining. Skills on point. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. After you, like when you first learn to start cutting the right way, because look, I used to take stuff and cut it in my hand because that's kind of how I learned to do it. Then I realized, oh my God, when I went to school, that's a good way to cut your hand off, right? But I didn't go to culinary school until a little bit later. My first degree is not in that, it is in computers, but my second one, which is my culinary degree, that was one thing I had to learn, was proper techniques for that. And I couldn't stand when they would come around, because they have their little ruler and they'd be checking and eyeballing, making sure that your paisans are paisans and your bâtonnets are bâtonnets and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, ugh, I hated it. And you have to always know the dimensions. But then as I got over hating it, I realized that there was a point and a principle behind it, because that allows things to cook the way that they should cook. You don't want to put real tiny dice cuts in something that, like a soup or something that would need something a little bit larger where it can cook down. And you just got to know all those things. Presentation, everything is on point. All right. So then, as you know, we move everything off to the side. Did anybody go to the grocery store today without being prepared? You need to stop it. Cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. All right, so let me show you guys what we have before I start assembling. And it is almost time for me to take my salmon out. All right, so this is my bowl that I've been putting my peppers in, my tricolor peppers, my red onion, my sweet onion. Voila. All right, and then also we will have black-eyed peas. Yes. Mushrooms. Yes. There's this show, and the guy used to say yes all the time. I just channeled that. That was funny. All right, and so pineapples. So remember I told you guys, if you came on a little bit earlier, if you catch this on the replay, with the pineapples, what I normally do is I'll take one whole one and cut it up and take the other one and juice it. So I'm going to need the reserves from that later. So I saved that from my second pineapple, and this is the first one, right? And I cut it up. The only other thing I need to do, let me wash my hands real quick, is I need to cut up my cilantro, and then we'll start putting everything together. I'm also using coconut milk, which you can use almond milk, you can use cashew milk, you can use any milk that is in the vegan family, because I lied, we forgot to cut up my garlic, didn't we? Because if you're going to make a dish, a vegan dish, then it can't have anything in it that has any animal products. So of course, milk comes from a cow, right? So you can't use any cream in it or any milk that's like regular milk. You have to use something that comes natural, like your almond milk, your cashew milk, coconut milk, anything of that nature. That's what you have to use. Let's see. I steal small dice. Girl, you better not let your teacher see you doing that. You know they'll have a fit. Sometimes I get a chance to see my my culinary instructors from school, and because I go down there and do some stuff in the culinary space for them, and so I always feel like, oh my God, they're gonna be watching and judging me. But that's what they're supposed to do. That lets them know that they're teaching right accordingly and grading correctly when they grade. So yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, master cuts. All right, so all I did was I just smashed the garlic, took that off, cut the ends off, and now I'm just gonna mince that really quick. And I'm getting to slide over here to the oven real fast, guys, and take my salmon out because I don't want to overcook it. And you know, as with anything, your carryover cooking is going to be what continues to happen when you're done. So I'm gonna mince this real quick. Quick. It's nothing but a party, y'all. I'm in such a good mood today. This is like my birthday weekend, which I'm normally in a good mood anyway. But this is my birthday weekend, and it's been totally amazing. Today is the first day that I've actually cooked. Can you believe it? Because Friday and Saturday, my family like treated me out. So I felt special, and I work all the time. So I enjoy myself. And I was not a slave to the computer like normal. All right, so let me take my salmon out really quick because I don't want it to overcook. Oh, that is beautiful. I'm gonna have to bring it and show you guys. All right, so I'm gonna let this sit. but this is how my salmon came out. Nice and beautiful. And all I did was I seared it on the top. You know, I talked about the presentation side. This is the side that you put down in your hot pan first, and then you flip it over, because this is going to be what lays on top of our dish, and this is your presentation side, what your family will eat, right? So those came out really nice. I'm going to sit this over to the side. You never want to overcook it. You only need about 10 to 12 minutes. 10 to 12 minutes. All right. Then I'm trying to be conscious of my time, because I'm not whatever Instagram power user, whatever those things are where they don't cut you off and you can have like the endless scopes. I don't have that, so I'm cutting off in 1 hour. So I'm trying to make the best of my time so I can go over you guys what I have in the works. Kurt, if you're in the building, you'll be excited to hear what I got coming up for my big news. If you guys are not connected to Kurt the Connector, you need to set up time for him, because you know I've been in this space for a while and doing a lot of different things with my cooking, showcasing a lot of stuff. So when I got up with Kurt and we had our one-on-one session, he brought some things to light that I should be doing. And I hadn't been really doing them all together in that one collective piece. But that's what this thing will be. And so I'm so excited. Yeah. All right. That was my attempt a little bit at singing. And I'll stop. We need somebody to come on and karaoke with me, right? Who's going to karaoke? All right. So now I have my cilantro. And you can use stems, you cannot use stems, but I kind of like removing mine. Yes, Kurt the Connector. What's up, Groove Man? How you feeling? Thank you for stopping through. Make sure you guys catch this on the replay. I'm going to put it up in my, not my stories. What is it? My IGTV. And I'll leave that up because it'll have the recipe and you guys will be able to see what I did with the salmon right in the beginning. I normally like to put like a little sauce with it, but because we're having a lot of flavor and stuff today, we ain't doing that. Not today. Because I said today was my first day back cooking, right? So I'm like, I ain't trying to stress myself out in the kitchen today. So I want to show you guys something quick and easy that you can do. And like I said, this is for vegans. This is for vegetarians or whatever your family likes. But I say when you get them in there with you, then they're more apt to try it, right? All right, so that's kind of all I need for that. Just gonna cut these up just to trim it down just a little bit. All right, let me see if I can read. Did you guys tell me what you made for dinner? Did you guys share that with me? I hope it was something tasty. I hope it was something tasty, because there's nothing like when you got to eat something and it's something that you don't want, right? Yuck. But I gotta say, it's been an amazing weekend, and I was like, what do I want to make for dinner today? And I know my son likes salmon, which he is not here right now, but I told him as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna go pick him up so that we can eat together, because I believe in that too, and he looks forward to it, and so do I, right? You guys spend time with your kids. All right, guys, what's happening? All right, so I always keep measuring spoons near me. So I'm just I have it here just to rest, not to measure. Ha ha ha. All right, so I'm not measuring this today. I just need it so I can sit it to the side for what else I need to do. So I need to cut my jalapeno pepper real quick. As you know, with all peppers, the seeds are going to be the hot part, right? So make sure you keep them hands clean afterwards. Okay, so I'm going to slice the ends of it off. Don't need those, baby. All right, and I'm going to slice down the center. just like I do my peppers. Come on, don't make me touch you too much. I don't want the seeds on the inside of mine, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut those out, right? Ever so gently, because I don't need it. I don't want that extra heat. I just wanted to have some of the pepper in there. Right. Sometimes I answer myself. Do you guys do that? Do you sing in the kitchen? Do you dance in the kitchen? My son has my speaker box with him, so I couldn't play my music, which was one of the things I wanted to do today, but oh well. So I'm gonna cut them like this. Moving forward, always keep your fingers back so you don't cut the tips of them off, because your greatest tool in the kitchen are your fingers. You use them for everything. You use them to check the doneness of your meat. So then there's a process and a technique where you check the thickness of it. So based on you touching your fingertips together will let you know the toughness of that meat. So your hands also gauge that. A lot of different uses for it in the kitchen, right? Lots of different uses. But if you don't have hands, then you can get somebody to help you, right? Or if you struggle with holding certain things, that's the whole point of having someone in the kitchen with you to help you out, right? So I'm just coming back through and mincing these, and then I make sure that I wash my hands again, which I do anyway. You should stay clean in the kitchen, but you better make sure none of that juice pop in your eyes. Right. Have you ever been to like an Indian restaurant and they ask you, sometimes they'll have the heat level on the menu, right? And sometimes they don't. But when they don't, and you have a certain dish you're interested in, you can always ask them about that on a scale, because a lot of the different spices that they use are on the spicy side, right? And so the way my stomach is set up, I like spicy food, but it doesn't like me, right? So I have to make sure that I'm careful not to indulge in that. I'm singing to entertain myself because my youngins not here. All right. Oh, one other thing I did too, guys, and I'm going to show you real quick because I did it to save time today. All right, so let me put these up here. And that's the very last thing that I am cutting. And we're going to go ahead and start assembling. All right, and that was just my jalapenos. All right, so let's move this off to the side. Always remember what I told you about having a damp towel down underneath. That way it allows your cutting board not to slide. Don't slide on me. Y'all remember that song, I Got 5 on It? That's what I was just thinking. All right, so one of the other things that I did to save time was I went on and cooked my quinoa off first. And you can do that because all I'm going to do is use that. Once I make my sauce, I'm going to just blend it in and put it all over it together, right? So this is your perfect protein, right? Look at that. It's beautiful. This is a perfect protein all by itself. Because a lot of times I hear when people eat vegan, they'll say, well, how in the world can I maintain? How can I stay full if I'm not having meat as my protein? So there's a lot of different things you can add to this. There's tofu, there's beans, legumes, a lot of different things to make your vegan journey one that's successful. If you're interested in learning more about that, there's a link in my bio, and I have up there the Conscious Vegan, which is an e-cookbook that I made, but it's also a transitional guide that has your prep list, and it has a journal, and it has other different things like that to make your transition a lot easier. Right. All right, so now I'm getting ready to go ahead and cook off my mushrooms and spring over my handy dandy while we're cooking, which I like doing this better than having it over my stovetop because it allows me to engage with you guys a little bit easier than trying to overheat my camera. And I can use my tripod and still be portable because I like that. Right. Okay, so let's see here. See if I can bring this back. Okay, so these were the ingredients that I used today. And I mean that we're going to be using, and so you guys can have a chance to see that. So I am going to go ahead and put together the pineapple salsa real quick, which is just the pineapple, the red onion, cilantro, and a little lime juice, and stick that in the fridge, which that won't really be cold until I need it, but that will be super okay. All right, so I'm going to take my let me take you back to the big screen. Let's go back to the big top. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to put my pineapples in. And so, whoops. And they have time to sit, so it still has some of the juice in it. I didn't quite want my juice in there just yet because I want a little bit of the pineapple juice and the lime. So, let me get my spoon. Hold on. Singing intermission style. All right, let's see. So I'm adding my pineapples. And for your pineapples, you're only going to use like 1.5 cups, right? So I like my pineapples. And I like my salsa a little chunky. Some people don't. You can make it as fine as you want to, or you can make it as chunky as you want to. It's totally up to you and your preference, right? So I'm going to use that. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to add some of my red onion to it. Because like I said, I want this particular salsa to be a little bit chunky, right? So I'm doing my red onions, and then I'm doing a little bit of my cilantro. Where did I put my cilantro? Hold on one second. I just moved it over here, didn't I? All right, so then I'm gonna put a little bit of my cilantro in here. Bam. Let me turn this down a little bit. Don't be trying to cook fast on me. Don't be trying it. Don't be trying it. All right, and then I'm just going to put a little lime juice in there. I want to put a little bit of my red and yellow peppers. Yeah. Maybe a little bit of green because I have them all up here together. And I want it to be nice and chunky. So I put that in there together. And look how colorful that looks, right? Because people eat with their eyes first. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of lime juice to that. Mix it and let that go. And for your limes, you know, you can use your you can use a juicer to go ahead and squeeze that out. So these are very inexpensive. You just put it in there, juice it out, okay? All right, guys, talk to me now. Talk to me now. All right, so I'm bringing it back over here to you guys. I'm just squeezing the juice over it now. This helps you squeeze all of it out, but sometimes, and I mean sometimes, I don't use it. I'll just use a spoon and let it drain out, or I put a glove on and let it squeeze over my hand. Right. All right. I know y'all in agreement with me, so I'm going to say you're right and I'm right. All right, let's see here. And I'm just juicing the other half now. Let's see if I can move a little bit quicker. Yes, baby. And that helps. Squeeze it over. All right, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of salt and pepper to it. La presto. I'm going to mix that and sit that right in my fridge. You can have it smaller if you like. And I'm going to add me just a little bit more. And that's just because I'm extra like that. All right, so then I'm going to add just a little bit of that and then some of my jalapenos. Because I want it a little bit hot. Because this part my son won't eat anyway. But I'll eat this for a couple of days. And these go good over tortilla chips. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And I'll show you guys how this will look at the end. Once we plate it over. Moving on so I can get this sauteed up. Yes. All right. So I'm sticking this in my refrigerator. All right, and I'm gonna let that chill. Let me wash my hands real quick. for the 20-second quickness with nice soapy water. So what are you guys making? All right, let's see. Thank you guys for hanging in and sticking with me to see this recipe. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and turn my heat back up on this. Let's go ahead and put a little oil in it. So I'm gonna let it get hot again. So as you see, when I was doing the salsa real quick, it had kind of started heating a little bit, and I didn't want it to that fast because I'm not trying to burn it. But what we're going to do is we're going to heat up the mushrooms, the onions, the bell pepper, the garlic, all that good stuff. I'm going to add in the black eyed peas, my coconut milk, the pineapple juice, the rest of the pineapples, because I want to add a little bit into that too. And we are done, darling, and we'll be plating, right? So while this is heating back up, so I just gave you the whole game right there, right? Okay, so while that's hooking up, let me just tell you guys what it is that we're going to be doing. So this, drum roll. Let's see if I can hit it down. This is what I'm working on. So we are having our cooking party zones. La, 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 la. So it's geared towards families, right? So if you're a family, like I just talked about earlier when I came on, you're home with your kids, right? So now we have to homeschool, or they're part-time on, part-time off. And so this is a different time for them. And so to keep it interesting and to keep it funky and to keep making memories with your family and everyone not getting agitated with each other, we're going to start having some cooking parties. So normally when I do my cooking classes, we structure them a little different. But right now I'm doing a pilot program. So we're having cooking party zones on the weekend, baby. So as we do that, and as we do the cooking parties, for the month of August, it's totally free. You get your recipes, you get private group with me, we get to go live, we interact with each other. We're going to have a great big old party, and we're going to have some fun. So if you look, there's a link down there that says bit.ly cooking party zone. When you go to that, it lets you sign up for the low, the free, right? Because we already know that it's about to be lit. We already know we're going to have a good time and we're going to party, right? So I'm letting you guys come in free because I want us to have a good time for the month of August. I want the kids to readjust and realign. There's been so many different things going on in their lives, and just to give them a little bit of normalcy, right? It's nothing but a party, y'all. So I know y'all are used to me doing like the paid cooking classes, but we're going to try something a little different this time, right? So we're going to do this party style, and you get to come in absolutely free for the free 99. All right. So in that, we're going to be going to the grocery store a little bit. We're going to be having some fun all virtually online. So it doesn't matter where you live. It never does, darling. It never does. So if you're worried about, oh, I need to be where she is, because that's traditionally how I do my classes. We do them live. But for this particular one, we're going to be doing them virtually, which has worked out amazing over the summer. So I'm excited to bring this pilot program because it'll give us a chance to get the kids in the kitchen just a little bit more and expose them to things. Because some of my fondest memories are being in the kitchen with my mom, right? So I love it, love it, love it, love it. And I want your kids to make positive memories while we're going through this pandemic and having all these interesting things occur. That way, they're on task, they're on point, they're learning. It's a piece of their education. So why am I not having it in the middle of the week? Because they're already frustrated and agitated with the school process and having to learn at home and not having a teacher right in front of them necessarily. And so this gives them something that, yeah, it's something a little different, and it steps them outside of the norm, right? So they're already, like I said, having to do all these different things with school. And so I decided to do something a little fun and meet them where they are, right? They're already in the digital space. They already play video games. They already do all these other things through the technology space. So why not get in the kitchen with your family? Oh, I think I went out. Okay, there we go. So I think it's not. Hey, what's going on, boo? Yeah, we getting ready to do them cooking parties, dog. So make sure that if you know someone that will be interested, because this is geared towards families, because that way the kids will have an opportunity to come in and cook. Whether it's a teenager or whether it's a young kids, I'm telling you, they appreciate that process and they're going to laugh and smile about it, right? So when they do that, you got to make sure that you're engaged and that you're open to it. Make it fun for them. Don't just make this a daunting time where they have to get on and not enjoy what they're doing. All right, so let me slide this and get my peas. All right, so now, let me pop back. I guess it'll give me a timer when it cuts me off. So I'm going to pop back so you can see me large here. Large and in charge, right? All right, so this is my peppers, my mushrooms. I'm adding the garlic in now. I didn't add the garlic in first because I didn't need the garlic to burn. But who doesn't love garlic? I mean, come on, man. Right? Right. Look at that. I wish y'all had smell-o-vision. Now I'm going to add my black-eyed peas to it, right? So for the black-eyed peas, you only need to do probably about about 2 cups. And I've already measured this out. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So this is an awesome vegan dish. Yummy to the tummy. But today I wanted salmon, so I guess I'm turning this into a pescatarian dish. But if, let's say, you have someone in your house and they don't eat just this, then let them try a little bit, but then bring up whatever they normally eat, like their chicken or their turkey or, you know, whatever it is, and just put this as the side. Because one thing you have to do is have people try stuff, right? If they don't try it, how do they know they like it? They can't be saying ew and all that stuff without giving it a try, right? All right, so I'm going to add my pineapple juice to it now. So I'm only going to add... And I measured this out already. But let's do it again for the gram. All right, so here we go. I'm adding, that's a 1/2 cup. And now I'm doing a 1/4. All right, because that's about all I need. That's about all I need. All right, and I'm going to do a little bit more salt and pepper. Because you got to flavor it, baby. So, if you're just coming in, I am Chef Antissa, your taste bud exciter. Today we are doing our live for the week. And so my birthday was Friday, so we didn't do it Friday. Normally I pop in at the end of the week, like on a Friday, but we didn't do that this week because I was out enjoying myself with my family. So I decided to do it today on Sunday, and I made a big announcement that we are doing our cooking party zones. Hey! All right, so it is totally free for August for the free 99. That way you have a chance to get in and have your kids do something fun, make memories, and unwind for the week. So they can't really go nowhere, right? They can't really go to some of these amusement parks that they want to go to and do all these other things. So why not bring the fun to them, right? Hey, who with me now? All right, so la la la. All right, and I'm going to add just a little bit more garlic. Now, you can add some of your Cajun seasonings to it if you like. Through every time you add a layer, you need a flavor. Add a layer, add the flavor. Add a layer, add the flavor. Look at that. It smells amazing, right? Smells amazing. Now I'm getting ready to add my coconut milk. Yeah. So for my coconut milk, you can use it in the can, but you also can use the one that's in the refrigerated section, whichever one floats your boat. So I'm only going to use a cup of it. And I like the unsweet coconut milk anyway. That works best for my dishes. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in to it. Let that cook down and reduce. Look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. It's so beautiful. It smells good in here, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. Let that cook down some. Your amazing vegan dish. This is an added bonus. So if you go and you grab the vegan, recipes by clicking the link in my bio, then my darling, you'll get this as an added bonus. But the link for that is bit.ly/CV Chef 2020. That is CV Chef 2020. Now you're only going to cook this down for about 5 or 10 minutes, and all of it has been cooking together beautifully to start with. So I'm gonna let that sit for a second. Let me get my plate for my presentation. I'm gonna add just a couple of more. Look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it, look at it. I'm adding a little bit more pineapple to it, right? Just a little bit. It's in my salsa, but I'm a pineapple head. I'm just saying. That smells good. That coconut milk smells amazing in this dish. Gives it a great aroma. It gives your vegan an opportunity to have some sauce and seasoning. We're going to spoon this all over the quinoa. It's going to be amazing, y'all. Let's see if I can bring this up some. I feel like you guys are all on top of it, right? So let's see if I can bring this up. Yes, for the one. For the win. There we go. Now stay steady on. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. I didn't want that steam to block y'all. I want y'all to be able to see all this greatness in this pan. I wish you could smell it. I was going to say I wish you could smell it, but you can't. But people eat with their eyes first. If you remember nothing else I tell you, remember that people eat with their eyes first, right? So when you do that, you have to make sure that it's colorful, the presentation is nice, and they're more apt to try it, right? So like I said, once you add all those things in, you're going to let it cook for 5 or 10 minutes. Then you're going to just add your quinoa to whatever pan that you are using. So I am getting ready to just add the quinoa that I showed you all to my pan, and I will bring that back over to show you the presentation. La 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 la. Let's see here. Let's get it all together. Let's get it all together. It's gonna be a party, y'all. Music, music, music. Cue the music. You gotta talk to yourself and be silly sometimes, right? Long as you ain't answering back. But guess what? I answer back too. All right, so I'm gonna turn this off. This has cooked all the minutes I needed to do. I am coming right back on live. My timer is saying it's 1 minute and 44 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live, and I'm going to start a brand new one. So follow me over to the other side, because I'm down to like 30 seconds, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to plate this. I'm coming back on and plate it so you guys can see how this dish looks. This is a vegan dish that I've made, and I'm gonna go back over the ingredients right over in the next live. See you in a minute.